front of this is from somebody who did send me an email. So I sent him and or her, whichever it happens to be, the message from Natalie Bollinger from 2016. The one about her dad, her mom, her ex-stepmom, her sisters and brother, I should say, the abuse. All right, so when I go in and I'm supposed to have assistance because of my disabilities, all of these places around here want to completely ignore my physical disabilities and also ignore the fact that, yes, my medical records do in fact and indeed show that I am autistic and that I have PTSD. Two things that these guys take complete and total advantage of. That includes the police. That includes the judges. That includes the public pretenders. And that includes people like Andrew Wolness, Christopher Stafford, and a lot of other people in this town. Let's turn this around and we'll play a video that I recorded just a few minutes ago. Alright, so I got a phone call earlier about my disability and having to go to an appointment in April. And people are hurting me and calling me mentally ill as an excuse for doing it. I have severe PTSD from this.
I understand that. And you know something? I have your medical records. And yeah, you do have PTSD and you have autism and different things. And unfortunately in this world, when you're a little bit different than other people, whether it's good different, bad different, or just unique, people have a tendency to be afraid of it and they target it and they choose to hurt instead of understand.
The problem is I have to just let people beat on me. Even when I just let people beat on me, they'll pretend I was trying to hurt them. That's their excuse. I'm mentally ill.
But just because even if someone is mentally ill doesn't give the right to anybody to hurt them.
But it's the police's excuse for ignoring the crimes. Like I said, when I try to turn into the crimes. Go back to the beginning and play that more again. So I got a phone call earlier about my disability and having to go to an appointment in April. And people are hurting me. This is literally how I have to. This is literally how I have to move a video from this phone to that one, so that I can record on this one live. When I record something offline, it'll take easily 8 hours for it to download something of any decent size, 15, 20 minutes, anything like that. Anything longer than that could take potentially days, where I have to literally stay connected to the internet the whole time. I have severe PTSD from this.
I understand that. And you know something? I have your medical records. And yeah, you do have PTSD and you have autism and different things. And unfortunately in this world, when you're a little bit different than other people, whether it's good different, bad different, or just unique, people have a tendency to be afraid of it and they target it and they choose to hurt instead of understand.
The problem is I have to just let people beat on me. Even when I just let people beat on me, they'll pretend I was trying to hurt them. That's their excuse. I'm mentally ill. How often is that not their excuse? If it's not their excuse for harming me, it's their excuse why people shouldn't listen to me. This lady talks about how, unfortunately, when you're a little bit different, well, see, that's why we have the laws to protect people who are, quote unquote, a little different. When you guys type or talk about being a little different, you guys are talking about strange or weird usually. Now, when somebody's strange or weird, do you accept them or do you call them a weirdo? Tell them that they deserve it. They deserve the abuse. They deserve the harassment. Or, of course, when they're abused, taken advantage of, you're not going to listen to them anyway because they don't actually matter to you. Shannon Alvarado showed how destructive that can be. With her friend Marnie, at least she admitted it. With her friend Marnie, whenever she wanted to talk about her friend Marnie and her friend Marnie missing, I'd post up about her friend Marnie. There's a guy named Rick who was gonna help me today, and then he hung up in the middle of the call. Let's continue playing this one though, right?
Just because even if someone is mentally ill doesn't give the right to anybody to hurt them. But it's the police's.
Except that it has, now hasn't it? What did the police use as their excuse? The mentally ill thing. That includes the using the you want to hurt yourself or others BS. That's always a trick question. I didn't go in there to try to get people to stop me from hurting myself or others. I went in there because I need help stopping abuse against me, and none of these people cared. Now, this lady right here that I spoke to today, she's saying a lot of things, but she's not focusing on the law part of it, the part where they're all supposed to do something about it. A lot of these things that people want to say, oh, this is wrong, they're not allowed to do this, they're not allowed to do that. Well, yes, they are if you do nothing to stop it, if you don't share the information. If you let them harm me until I literally have to scream at the top of my lungs and curse in order to get heard. It's not that that's what I wanted to do, it's that is the options that I was left with when people did not keep their word, when they procrastinated, when they blew me off, and of course, didn't have time. They never have time. They can eat up a lot of time typing at me and promising me that they'll call and listen. Thank goodness, right? And after 5 weeks, they finally called to listen, but instead of listening, they want to talk about all of their conspiracy theories running through their heads because they didn't bother listening to me. They wanted to listen to a bunch of crazy people who are not there. Why do I call those people crazy? Because they say these things as if they're facts for things that they were not there for. That's obviously crazy. Just because you assumed doesn't make it true. Then there's the part with Andrew Wolnez, his excuse for harming me. He wants to pretend that I'm a pedophile and a rapist and a murderer and all sorts of stuff. And you know, unless somebody watches one of those YouTube true crime things to the very end, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna assume that I'm wanted for murder because you don't follow through to the end. None of these places off telling you how creepy Joseph Michael Lopez is. No, they want to pretend that Natalie Bollinger's victim is the creep. Natalie Bollinger's victim is the terrorist. Natalie Bollinger's victim. That's right. Who's Natalie Bollinger's victim? I am. Am I okay? No, not even close. For literally years and years and years, I've been getting these restricted phone calls over and over and over again by the thousands. Now I have to allow those because all of the services that are supposed to help me call me from restricted numbers. There's stuff like this. This is one of Andrew Wolnez's videos where he's trying to accuse me of killing Natalie Bollinger. Wants to pretend that I'm a pedophile and a rapist and all sorts of other shit. He's kept this up for months. Now that video that I just recorded with that lady, it's about 20 minutes long, and in that I tell her repeatedly. Now there's also them complaining to Safeway. One of these accounts you might recognize. The Fred Turner / Fred Burner accounts. This is Safeway Online. It's got Andrew Wolnez complaining that poor him, he got kicked out for targeting disabled people, and that's the thing. I am disabled. People do take advantage of my disabilities. When it comes to allowing me the rights that I'm supposed to be afforded, they literally do not ever afford me those rights. Instead, they twist it all into mentally ill so they don't have to do their jobs, and then they wipe their hands clean of it while I continue to take the abuse. Somebody is typing retarded shit on here. Like, God loves you and it's going to get better. Please don't type retarded shit. Are you God? No, you're not. How about pay attention to the evidence? How about pay attention to my words instead of typing ignorant BS? It's going to get better? Really? Has it gotten better? No, it hasn't. It hasn't gotten better because people like you want to talk about your God and type ignorant shit. Typing that it's going to get better isn't going to make it better. Anyway, this guy here wanted to harass me, pretend that I'm a pedophile, pretend that I'm a druggie. Wanted to get up in my face and assault me on multiple occasions. And he's kept it up. Now there's this guy who's going to help me to turn it in today, and he hung up in the middle of the call. He said that he has a bad internet connection and that happens, so I basically just have to accept it. Now obviously, no matter how much evidence I got, it doesn't matter because I don't have access. I have to depend on others for access to any of these services. I have to depend on others for access to these rights, and therefore I have no rights because I have no access. Instead of typing that it's going to get better, help to make it better.
The Text Now subscriber you are trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey Rick, it's Sean Schwartz. You hung up earlier, or we got disconnected, whichever the case may be. Anyway, I was hoping you'd at least text me back saying, something happened instead of leaving me hanging. But, when you don't have internet service, you don't have internet service. Hopefully that's not me making excuses for somebody who's actually a meanie. I'm hoping the best from you. I'm trying to have some faith in you. All right, so I got a Cash App now. It's cash.app / Dogged Roman. I haven't gotten a single dollar from it yet. I don't know if I even set it up right, but at least I'm trying. A lot of people in the past have been, real big bullies about Cash App. Like if they type it over and over and over again, that'll magically make it so that I can do it. Oh, it's just an app you download on your phone. Well, with all due respect, if I don't have any help making room to even download the app, I'm pretty screwed on that. Obviously, Colin Rick is... I sent him a lot of evidence. A lot of evidence. And we got sick shits like Andrew Wolnez, Officer Martinez, Officer Harrell, Officer Lothman. And I gotta go to these pieces of shit to try to get help stopping abuse. Are you fucking kidding me? They treat me like I'm a junkie. How about Tillamook Hospital? Yeah, they treat me like a junkie too, as soon as I go in the door. Anyway, let's take a look at these two accounts. The one at the bottom is Fred Turner account. He also has Fred Burner and let's see, Is that working? And then there's Andrew Wolnez there too. That's on the Tillamook Safeway site. See, my predators, my stalkers, they do everything that they can to cut me off from any and all resources. It's not just Andrew Wolnez and Fred Turner, which isn't his name by the way. It's also, well, maybe we should take a look back through the history. I mean, the Fred Turner account, he's made literally hundreds of Fred Turner accounts, Fred Burner accounts, Ted Turner accounts, Ted Burner accounts, hundreds. And no matter where I go, I have to deal with this shit. And when I have to try to tell people what's going on, they blow it off like it's no big thing. They got some quick fix that's going to cost money you don't have, and it's still not going to fix the problem because you still have no friend or family member to help turn it in. Is Aaron going to help turn it in? No, he's not. He's doing the same thing that Candy did. The same thing everybody does. Assume that he knows better than me. He's going to make some calls and then he's going to ignore me for a goddamn week. And then when I'm fucking pissed off because he's making a bunch of plans for me, he's not following instructions. You have to make the calls with me. With me. Otherwise, they're going to pull the wool over your eyes in every way that they can. These officers will not do their jobs. They committed felonies against an at-risk adult. They're not going to do a goddamn thing to investigate any of these other people who committed felonies against me because you know what? If the cops here do their jobs and they arrest these people, it lends an ear to the fact that I've been telling the truth. And if they lend an ear to the fact that I'm telling the truth, that'll lend an ear to the fact that I told the truth about them. And if they lend an ear to the fact that I told the truth about them, they go to jail and or prison. You guys are out of your goddamn minds sending me to the cops for help. Now, this guy has absolutely no problems with assaulting me and pretending that he's the one assaulted. You get to see recording after recording after recording. I can't possibly assault him. I've got a phone in one hand and a cane in the other, and I have to use the cane to keep myself upright. Not much I can do in that situation except just take the abuse. I'm tired of this. Meanwhile, nobody helps me to actually turn it in. They just pretend that they're gonna. Now, of course, Andrew Wolnez brags about the fact that he knows it's not true. He's not saying these things because they're true. No, what's he doing? He's bragging about them, bragging about knowing that they're not true, bragging about playing head games with me. And it ain't just him. What are you guys doing to stop it? Nothing. What are you doing to help turn it in? Nothing. When I'm harmed, people make empty promises for weeks on end. When you're harmed, you go to a friend or family member and they help turn it in, and it's that easy. Without a friend or family member, you're pretty well screwed out here. Anyway, I got a bunch of paperwork I'm supposed to do, but then again, I'm always running around trying to do errands for everybody else who promises that they'll help me with my paperwork if I do this, if I do that. We'll turn it around here. We can see some stuff from my little sister. Yep. Let's see. This is from Natalie Bollinger. This is just before my birthday. Cricket, the change of info. I'm kind of not familiar with smartphones, so I won't mess with it until I find out what's up. I'm assuming the phone was separated from Alicia's account, so I'll have to ask her, are you feeling any better? Like I said, I'm not familiar with smartphones, so I won't mess with it until I find out what's up. And what was up with it? It was being a pain in the ass. I had to do this part from my computer. She typed, I'm not sure about any of that, hon. That's the old phone that Natalie used to have, that her sister gave me for my birthday. The account info, because it was in Alicia's account under her name. That's what she changed it to. Like I said, these things actually happened. I told the truth about all of these situations. This is right before my birthday in Virginia. While Natalie and Alicia, after the fact, pretended that I stalked them, this shows that that's not the case. Now, she wanted to go hang out with me on my birthday, and of course, I made room. I typed, if you are hellbent on seeing me tomorrow, I might install some extra padding in a barf bag. I don't know Reiki or Shiatsu, or I'd offer to help, but I think I'd hurt yours. She typed, I am hellbent on seeing you. I don't want to spend much time in the car, to honest. I'm very overwhelmed with car rides right now. This is while I was in Virginia, while I was supposedly stalking Natalie. I explained about how I'm afraid of the cars. There's never more than 2 on the road in Chapel. Her drunk friend that was driving when she got into an accident, I made a joke about how he's probably a better driver than me. Also, yeah, I brought her a fucking wheelchair. Of course I did. Let's see, Vico is where her mom worked, and she was trying to get me a job there. And you can see this is October 17th, October 18th, 2016. We were messaging each other between Facebook and my telephone. So some of the messages are here and some of them are on my telephone. Then there's, of course, I sent that one on the 18th or the 19th of 2016. I guess it's cut off there. But the next message I sent, block her, literally. I had to unblock her November 18th. I typed, well, I'm safe and in Nebraska. Pretty sure sorry won't help, but wanted you to know I was safe. Since I was having a panic attack about not getting to talk to you, you could have done something before I freaked out. But after 5 days of no sleep, I needed it to stop. I'm glad you won't ever have to know what that feels like, and also that it's not your fault I have panic attacks. He stopped talking to me, and 3 other people in Boulder threatened to assault me over how creepy what happened was, and that hurts me too. I'm not a mean person or a rapist, so I left Boulder. I don't want to be where people are mean to me. When I say I love you, it's as a friend, and I don't think I'll ever think of you as anything else. That's the thing that sucks, is that like she had expectations, but that's not my fault. And then 2 days later, on November 20th, having people I care about drop me off like I never meant anything to them is the reason I have panic attacks. I needed a friend. I won't kill myself over you. I will over you not caring. Your family won't be scared anymore. I won't be in pain all the time, and it won't matter that I wasn't worth talking to. Vivi typed, what are you trying to achieve here, Roman? Sean, screen is pixelated. Oh, here's some about the plans here. This is, she wanted to give me something from, she typed, I like that. Do you know what time you should be off? I typed, there were 11 people and only 1 job, so I'm off. They will call if it changes. I've worked every birthday of my adult life, so tomorrow I'm not going. They're aware and thanked me for letting them know. Said to bring in some art on Wednesday. She typed, sweet, so when I wake up tomorrow, will you come get me and we'll start the day? It might be at 12, fair warning. I typed, yes, ma'am, there's nothing in the world I'd rather do. Yep, she sent that the day before my birthday. Here's more stuff. Talking about how she can't sleep. She was able to help me. The stuff about cricket. Stuff from my sister. Oh, yep. You know, she typed, I'm fearing for me and my daughter's life. What do you want me to say? No, she's not. She's manipulating. That's all Tara's ever been. I do believe that there's a possibility she was threatened, but given the situation, it seems to me she was just methed out of regard and taking advantage of my disability money. She typed, that guy from Colorado said he'd hurt Destiny if I said anything to the cops about him being here. Now I really need to not talk to you for now. I'll get a message to you some other way. I still go to chapel for other reasons. Oh, she was full of shit. How many others and then kill because they didn't, his words. Oh, here's one from Natalie. She typed, you were scared of me? Why so? You lit up my day by walking into the park. I found you to be so interesting. You drew a badass dragon on my shoulder and I thought I was in love. You always made me smile. Then I think the last time I saw you, I was sleeping under the library, Nate laying next to Emery and Alicia. She got drugged that night and you yelled at me a little bit, but I was embarrassed you thought something had happened that didn't. I didn't see you after that until you came into my life again. That's right, before that, I ran her off. Why wouldn't I? She was a kid. She didn't need to be there. I typed, I wasn't scared of you, I was scared for you. I have seen what happens there, good folks and bad folks, and it's tough to tell the difference. Kayla told me you and your sister were cute, so I should look out for you and keep you safe, and I respected, let me see. And I respected Miss Maddie. You were both her friends, so I wanted you to be the same place as I wanted to see Maddie and Kayla, somewhere that you wouldn't be victimized. Pearl and the library are scary places when you see how many 13-year-old girls became 20-year-old homeless drunks. I remember missing you when you left. You were incredibly decent to me, and it felt good. I hoped you were safe, and one night you showed back up on Pearl Street. I'm glad you came back. She typed that she went into foster care after that. Of course, we're also typing about two different situations here. She typed, I went into foster care after that. That's why I stopped coming around. Pops was hitting my sister and having us sell and do drugs with me. It's honestly the best thing that could have happened, though. I wanted to be homeless and do drugs all day. Once I got clarity, my goals changed. See, obviously, Natalie and I were friends. Here's where I was apologizing to her. I haven't stopped cigarettes yet, but I don't need to smoke weed. I'm glad your goals did change. I'm not going to yell at you again. I'm sorry I did that. She typed, sorry you did what? I typed, yelled at you when you were drugged. Stuff like that is why I try to scare kids away. She typed, don't apologize. I was a baby looking for what I didn't even know about yet. You were looking out for me. I was really young. See, even she admitted. Yeah, me trying to scare them off wasn't me trying to be an asshole. It was me trying to look out for their best safety, where their goddamn parents were the biggest safety issue in their fucking lives. She typed, too young to be doing the drugs and hanging out with people I had no business hanging around or being around. So I typed, well, my goal for the last 2 months has been to see you. Why is this? It's because she was fucking suicidal, duh. There's also the fact that we planned the trip. I typed, I like who you are, who you have chosen to be, and my goal is still to see you. Plus 4 months not walking will really get boring in about 2 weeks. She typed it already has. But Sean, I need to warn you, and this is the part where she tells me about her family. My family may not be so kind. The relationship you and I have is different. They won't like it. I love them dearly, but they aren't very accepting of different. Like, there's so much of this. There's stuff from stalkers all over the country, assaulting me no matter where I go. Here's one about This is October 17th. This is the day after she got into an accident. She typed, I got in a car accident last night. I was stranded for about an hour. I only didn't call you because you had work, LOL. I typed, if I can drive 1,700 miles to see you, I'll drive the distance to rescue you. It's okay, as long as you are safe and not injured further. Thank you for trying to be considerate, though. You see that? You see that? She knew I drove 1,700 miles there. It was none of this, oh, you're stalking me, don't touch me, don't come near me, get the hell away from me, I hate you kind of crap. Oh, we got somebody pretending to be Alicia Bollinger getting on here. Isn't that cute? There's a lot more in here. A whole lot. See, here's this one. I typed, or let's see. No one picked up, or she typed, I'm hurting quite a bit, to be honest. Oh, let's get rid of this troll on here. We don't have to deal with these dipshits. Hide user on this channel. It's not the first fake Alicia Bollinger account I've had to deal with. They make some pretending to be my sister. They've made some pretending to be my niece's grandmother. It's fucked up. Here's what she was telling me about the accident. She typed, I'm trying. All right. All right, so here we've got, no one picked up the phone. I was trying to get home. My buddy was drinking. He was going 120 and went off the road. Overcorrect.